All right, we ready? Wait, this is John's thing.
It's not even
Go
his
on, you, John.
podcast.
Go on, John. You take it away, man.
Go on, John.
Ah! Wait a sec.
Come on,
Guys,
John.
stop making noises. Stop
Come
pressuring
on,
me.
John. Start it.
Stop. It's been started for 20 seconds.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Uh,
Alright, you have to say what's popping.
what's
with energy.
Poppington? Friends.
Well,
What?
This fucking guy.
we
man.
have our first guest on today. Um,
Peter.
It's me.
Peter. Yeah, Peter's
Bro, we're on the same wavelength, man. What the fuck?
It's actually Carl. He came back.
yeah,
as a guest.
Carl's back as a recurring
Like
guest,
bi-weekly.
and then we have Luke. What's up, Luke?
Well,
Sick.
Luke is
what's
Luke
going
is
on, guys?
John's friend.
It's
But
me.
wait.
I'm John's friend.
Yeah. Did you how long did you meet each other in primary school or secondary school, or before?
At the back of the club.
Getting some
As
drunk
we were
heads.
discussing off air. Okay. We just...
We actually met like 2 years ago.
This is
at,
not true.
Do you know? Do
This
you
is
know?
false
Do you
information.
know the? Do you know the Comic Cons that happened up in Dublin? Like they were big ones?
Yeah.
Man,
John's an avid goer.
I just watched Hunter x Hunter, right? And I was like, oh man, I'm gonna go up to this bitch with my cosplay.
Nice.
And John was there for the Paul Blart. It just came. I don't know. I think it just the second one just came out or something like that.
Two
And he
years
was there
ago.
for Paul Blart. Yeah. And I seen him across the room, and I was like,
You just
Alright.
knew. Monster X Hunter and Paul Blart. Basically the same storyline.
This is true. But that story was not true. We actually met in primary school. At
Yay.
what were we like 4?
fucking
4
know, man.
years of age.
That's
I
right.
don't. I don't actually remember becoming friends with you. I don't think we actually became friends until like 3rd year in secondary school.
Nice.
That makes no sense.
Like we were friends, and like we'd hang out and stuff. But it was like it was more like we had close friend. We had a mutual, very close friend.
Gary Mooney.
Just couldn't call him out.
Just name drop him like that.
He's a
Alright.
good guy, man.
Just dox him.
He lives at yeah, but like I don't actually remember you from primary school. I don't know, you remember
What are
everything
you
from primary
talking
school.
about, bro? Oh, that's me, right? Yeah. I forgot. I'm the guy who remembers everything.
Yeah, you remember like everything from primary school. I mean, we were closer than most people, probably, but we only became like really close friends like when we started playing games together on the PlayStation and stuff.
Man, this guy
Yay.
forgot he had an Xbox 360. I went to this house 20,000 times when I was younger, man.
What did you actually?
Yes!
Why?
In your
Why?
old house. Like, for loads of times, man. I fought a turf in your house, man. Your dad bought me a chicken roll, man. And
How
you're
do you
saying,
remember
you know
this
what,
stuff?
actually, yeah, 3rd year. Forget all the past stuff. What are you talking about, man? Don't ever disrespect me like this again, man. Honestly.
He just
Alright, maybe
leaves.
I'm wrong.
Doesn't do the podcast anymore.
It's my podcast now.
Alright,
Did
guys,
everyone-
we're replacing John with Luke.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, man. I have no recollection of primary school. So honestly,
Yes,
the
way.
probably. Honestly, the biggest thing I remember is you showing me PewDiePie.
Oh yeah, we talked about
Yeah, which we talked about. Do you remember that?
I remember that.
Yeah.
That's the first I got into a podcast. It's like,
Oh, wow.
where'd you mention me? What'd you say about me?
Yeah.
He skimmed through every single one, just looking for his name.
Yeah.
Um,
So I don't know. Yeah, we've been friends a long while.
It's kind of gay, but yeah, we have no topics for this episode, which is kind of sick.
Excuse me.
We're in for
Uh,
a
We're just
chill
gonna
time.
we're just gonna jump right into it, man.
Oh, do you want to go
into
straight into it? Oh yeah, well I suppose.
the movie.
Luke.
Deep,
Oh
deep
yeah.
dive.
Do you want to go for the movie first?
I
Oh,
mean, we've been kind of going for the movie first every time, innit? With our like Arrival and
I don't give a fuck, man.
Alien. I mean, Peter had a lot to say about Alien, and he's
What
been
for? 'Cause he's a
surprisingly
fucking
quiet.
idiot.
Bruh, okay, this movie generally made me want to fucking rip my eyes out.
So.
It was single-handedly the worst piece of shit I've
you
ever
haven't watched
fucking laid eyes
Sharknado
on.
yet.
So before we
You have not watched Sharknado.
last week we do movie reviews every week, and last week I picked Sharktopus, the brilliant tale of a half shark, half octopus created by the government to kill terrorists. That goes
I'm gonna
rogue.
look up who thought of that and
Uh,
who let that go
Is his
ahead.
name Damien or
Drug,
something? He
drug,
does a
traf-
lot of them. He does a
drug
lot.
traffickers. Drug traffickers, not
Drug
terrorists.
traffickers.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Um,
was. They were going after drug traffickers.
Yeah.
The Navy. Yeah.
And they decided to test it out on civilians.
I mean,
Right?
obviously that would make sense.
I mean, who else are
Yeah,
you
it
gonna
was
test it out on,
possibly the
bro?
best thing I've ever seen. I would say from a story standpoint. I don't think there was any holes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Alright,
Man, it
John,
looked like.
fucking hell.
Have you guys ever played Resident Evil 4?
Nope.
Well, okay, after this podcast, look up the fish dude from Resident Evil 4, the fish boss. Luke, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
There's a fish boss in Resident Evil 4, and that's all I could think about throughout the whole movie.
Fish boss.
Oh yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you're in like a little dinghy, like a little Minecraft wooden boat, and you're fighting this fish boss.
Oh, I see.
Oh
what you're
yeah,
saying.
I do know what you mean.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it reminded me of that. But anyway, yeah, brilliant movie. It got a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes because I gave it that, and I'm the only one that reviewed it. Man, it
Dude,
was
I know, I love
terrible.
them
It was
types of movies
horrendous.
though. Dude, they're so fucking shit. It's like good, you know,
Man,
like so
yeah.
bad that it's good. And I
Yeah.
think
Mike
that's
McLean has answers. Needs fucking answers.
That's
We should
why
get him on the podcast. Fucking.
did you do this?
to,
Man,
yeah,
he made
and who
two
produced
more
it?
movies. And then there's a new one
Roger
coming out
Corman.
as well, Sharknado versus Sharktopus, which will just be an excellent.
What is
What
going to
about
be Sharktopus fighting a
What
tornado
about
of sharks?
Sharktopus versus Whale Wolf?
Yeah, that's actually not that bad, but there's not a lot of whale that goes on. It's mostly just wolf. He rarely ever swims, which is kind of.
What the fuck, man?
And then there's Pteracuda, which is half pterodactyl and half barracuda, which is probably a little bit better than.
Fucking sick,
Yeah.
man.
The one thing I have
I didn't know about that one.
the one thing I have to commend about Sharktopus is they featured him a lot in the movie. Like normally with these movies it's like all exposition and then there'll be like a sick shark attack and then you're like your thirst for the shark attacks has been quenched and then it can like progress the story and stuff.
Yeah.
In this it was just one attack after the other and it was like all people that I didn't care about at all.
No,
Dude,
I
also that's
guess.
so good as well.
There was
The
some
fucking bungee
sick.
jump one was fucking
Yeah, that I
unreal.
was just about to mention that.
Yeah,
This
that was so
bitch
good. I
got
wanna
fucking
go
bit
again,
bungee
stupid
jumping.
cunt. Yeah, that was good. And then the one where the two guys are sitting on the side of the boat talking about how the bad ways to die.
Yeah.
The guy's acting when he's like, no, not like this. And then he
Yeah.
just gets yeeted off the boat. Oh,
What was that
man.
one where the one was scared of heights and she jumped off?
Yeah,
The bungee
boyfriend,
jumping.
her boyfriend convinces her to jump bungee jump, and then
yeah, and then she wants to do it again.
she like dives down and gets absolutely munched.
Bro, and there was
I-
at one stage he was just walking on land. He was just using his fins as
Yeah,
legs.
that's-
And I was like, wait a minute. That's not how it works. Neither octopus nor shark can go on land like that.
Listen,
I
man,
googled
he's-
the head producer, and it says he mentored and gave a start to many directors such as Martin Scorsese and James Cameron, and also gave Sylvester Stallone and who else, and William Shatner their starts in
I mean, that
the
makes
music
sense.
industry.
Yeah.
Just
God,
terrible
man,
movies.
Sylvester Stallone in fucking Sharktopus would have been lit.
Would have been lit. Conan O'Brien is in makes an appearance in the second one.
Oh,
Which is
nice.
pretty funny.
Doesn't get
Just
better than that.
dies.
I wonder how much money did they make off them.
Not a lot. I mean, look at it. They didn't have a big fucking
No,
budget.
Yeah, what was
yeah,
the
but
budget?
surely just the absolute novelty of like
Yeah, yeah.
people
Like, who do you sell it
consuming
to?
it
It's
would
fucking
What do you
Sky
see?
yeah,
Atlantic?
No, sci-fi. Sci-fi do all of
sci-fi.
them.
Oh yeah.
How much? I'm gonna Google it.
And they're shown a lot, especially when it gets to like Shark Week and shit like that. They'll do a promo of the different types of shark movies. So it does get a lot of, well, not a lot of air, but like it'll be on at least
2010,
once a year.
bro. It came
Yeah.
out in 2010.
But I mean, there's ones now coming out that are still look the exact same. Like it doesn't get better. Like there was a new one. If you look it up,
It's the
what was it?
novelty.
Shark Arantula versus some fucking crocodile thing, and it is the worst. It doesn't look like a shark. It doesn't look like a tarantula. It's like it was made in paint, man. There's some of the
I'm
worst
looking
shit
it
I've
up
ever
right now.
seen.
I'm
No
looking it up in
fucking
maps.
chance,
Why am I looking it up in maps?
man. Scott Pilgrim versus the World came out in 2010, and that is like the best movie ever.
I love that movie. That's really good.
That's
This
sort of Inception, but you know.
Shark Arantula versus Snake Scorpion.
Snake Scorpion, that was it. Yeah. It's just a snake with a scorpion tail. But yeah, the snark, like that even looks fine, but the tarantula thing looks fucking terrible.
Yeah, it does. He's just got just like legs just coming out. Like they literally just rendered a shark and gave it legs.
They're not even like hairy or anything.
No,
Like,
they're just random legs.
oh fucking
So yeah, that was a great experience. I really, I was looking forward to watching that the whole week, and then I was looking forward to somebody picking a slightly better movie after I watched it. To
just
be honest,
wait until what 3 weeks from now. We'll be back on that shit again with another excellent shit shark movie.
was Jedward in one of the Sharknado movies?
Yeah, Sharknado 3, I think.
I haven't seen any of them.
It's literally they don't even die, which is really well. I suppose maybe they do. No, they don't. They're just on a roller coaster, and then one of the characters is also on the roller coaster, and they get off and they say, "Did you see this person?" And they're like, "Nah, man." And then he's like, "Okay," and then they run away.
What? That's so
Yeah,
weird.
it's strange.
Yeah, and did you see, man, Sharktopus? He was like slitting people's throats and shit.
Yeah, it's fucked. Especially when he killed the dad. Shit was fucked. Good movie though, great movie.
Yeah,
Although I suppose not a lot we can talk about on that.
Bad acting,
great
bad
story.
budget, but man, if they had those two things reversed, it'd be fucking cult classic. It'd be sick, man.
Um, did you see the message from Peter, Adam?
no, did he have to go?
Yeah, he said both. He said, boys, both my headphones are completely fucked. I can barely hear shit, and the only one that works, the mic is gay. I think
Alright,
I'ma have
well,
to bow out of this one,
Oh,
boys.
that's just homophobic.
Luke, you're the new Peter. So if
Well,
you ever
lads.
get to a stage where you're angry about something, just go on about it for about half an hour, and then
I will.
we'll move on the topic, and then you can get angry about that one. But yes, I suppose we can move past the movie. Whose go is it next week? Carl?
Carl, are you
Ooh.
picking a movie? You gotta be here next week if you're picking the movie.
Yeah, I will be here next week.
Three-headed shark attack, Carl. Five-headed
no
shark
way.
attack. Six-headed shark attack.
No way.
Trash.
Oh,
Big
I have a
Bad
couple
Nights.
movies I want. No, that's where Petey's really gone to come over to mine.
Come on, man. We can't be out here filling up time.
I'm gonna say the Batman: The Dark Knight because I want to
Dark
watch that again.
Knight.
I want
Alright.
to watch it again
That's kind of sick.
because I watched the documentary on Heath Ledger last night. So I was like, I'm gonna watch Batman again.
Yeah,
Good choice.
that's a good choice. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's fine. Not as good as Sharktopus, but I suppose.
Hey,
Movie
listen,
only gets so
suppose.
much good acting.
Heath Ledger in Sharktopus was my favorite.
Like the
Man,
guy in the
Heath
boat.
Ledger was so fucking good. He was such a good actor. And I watched his. I remember one day, like semi recently, like maybe a year ago, I watched the last movie that he ever made, which was the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, I think. And that
Mhm.
was it was okay. It wasn't amazing. It definitely wasn't like his best work or anything, but I think it was just the storyline, to be honest, was extremely confusing.
Oh yeah.
And I also think Johnny Depp was in it, but I could be wrong about that.
Nice.
Um, oh man, I can't wait for it to be my turn to pick the movie again. I've actually like it's a movie that I really want to watch, but I'm actually waiting to like pick it as the movie that
Oh
we
yeah,
all
yeah. I know
watch.
what you mean.
So I'm not gonna watch it this week. Uh, Luke, if you were to pick a movie for us to watch, what would you pick?
Inception.
I've never seen that.
What?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in so long, but I forget like most of the movie.
Yeah, I'd be
But
the
I
same.
wanna, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I've never seen that. It's on my list. The list that I've
That's a
mentioned like six
strange one to
times.
never see.
Yeah, isn't it? Somebody said that to me recently as well about a different movie.
That
Um,
or Nightcrawler. It's
oh,
pretty good.
oh, that's a shout. I might add that
Add
um
to the list.
to the list of movies that we watch. Have you ever seen Nightcrawler?
Don't think so.
Jake
Jarhead's pretty good as
I
well.
feel
Jake
like
Gyllenhaal.
Oh yeah,
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 I
yeah.
have. I've no idea. It's again,
It's
it's
been
one
a
of them
minute.
Inception ones. I watched it. I think I watched that with my mum and dad.
Mm. What did you say, Luke? There?
Jarhead. It's under
Uh,
Jake Gyllenhaal actually. I'm pretty sure.
yeah, I've never seen that one. And
He's in like the
another.
military and he deals with like PTSD and shit when he comes back. It's
Oh
pretty good.
yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know of it, but I've never seen it. I'll have to watch that. And another one, Jake Gyllenhaal is a really good actor. But
Yeah.
another one that he's in that's really really good is Prisoners
Oh man.
with
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman, yeah, and the kid from 13 Reasons Why. I think it's that
Uh,
kid. It's Clay
which
from
one?
13 Reasons
Oh
Yeah,
Why.
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they're really good films. But yeah, okay. So next week the movie will be The Dark Knight. Uh, there's a lot to talk about on The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
I'm excited to rewatch that now.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
All right.
So we'll
Let's
move
move
on
into Luke now, boys.
to Luke.
Where'd Luke go?
Ah, shit.
I'm Peter.
Oh shit. Yeah.
I beat it.
Keown. Hey Peter.
Peter. Hey Peter. Chris. Chris.
Alright.
I'm so Chris.
Wait a minute.
Chris.
We just do an hour and a half of this.
Herbert the
Your
Pervert impressions.
But he only
name
says
is
Chris.
Cleveland Brown.
Oh,
All right,
no.
let's keep it going, guys.
Uh,
uh,
John, you can go.
so Luke works in
Yeah,
a shop, in like a garage, if you will,
petrol
yeah,
station.
in a petrol
Yeah, that's
station.
called garage. Actually, that sounds more cool.
Yeah, well, like a garage could be like a mechanic's place, I guess.
Yeah, it's not that.
But it's not that.
Yeah, it's not
A
that. It's a
gas
shop.
I mean,
station.
It's a,
I've pumped in the occasional like petrol diesel into a car, and I've pumped up someone's tires before, but that's about it.
that sounds sick, man. I'm glad you've such an exciting job.
I remember this
Um,
one
Swear
time,
jar.
this lady came in and she's like, "Can I give you?" And I was like, "What?" And I was like, "Can I give you?" And I was like, "You want 60 diesel in your car?" And she's like, yeah. And I was like, 60 diesel, and she was like, yeah. And I went out and I started pumping it, and I got up to about 55, and my coworker came out and he's like, "Man, what are you doing?" And I was like, "This lady asked for 60 fuel," and he was like, "Oh, okay." And he walked back in, and she's like, "No, I wanted 15." And I was like,
Oh,
"Hey, you know what?
wow.
Hey, at least it was the right fuel type." But yeah, I'm
Oh
fucked.
yeah, that would have been fucked.
I'm gone, man. So then like the coworker offered to pay it, and I pay him back. It was like 50 over because she gave the 15 or whatever.
yeah.
I don't know. And and the next day my boss called me and she's like, "Yeah, I heard something happened there." I didn't tell her because I was gonna try and finesse it under the carpet, you know what I mean? But that didn't work at all. And then yeah, long story short, Just be honest, guys. Don't try to hide nothing, because then your boss won't trust you anymore.
Does she not trust you?
No, she loves me, but like
Yeah, you're
she
like
didn't
her
trust me for like a
go-to
week. I actually
person.
am like, man, I'm
Yeah.
loved in that shop. I'm like their second son.
Who's their first son?
His name's Joe, and
Their real sons.
he's an actual NPC, man. He does egg science in college, and he likes tractors. So take what you will from that, man.
People are
I would
allowed like
expect someone doing
tractors,
ag
man.
science to like tractors.
Yeah.
He
But
likes super dry. There you go.
Oh
wait,
no,
I
okay.
like super dry.
You
Hold
don't
up.
like you don't like super dry. Your mommy just dresses you. That's all.
All
Man,
right,
you
man. I'll
can't
take
get
that. I'll
out
take
of here.
that.
This is the last time Luke's ever been on the podcast.
So well, the point I was trying to make was
Sorry.
you're working through this whole thing, whereas we're sitting on our arses all day every day because the
Professional
other three of
gamers.
us and Peter also works in a hotel. So obviously it had to close down. So obviously we couldn't work. So now the podcast is our job, and we're earning €0 an hour.
What do you mean, man? 350 quid a week?
350 a week.
Okay, 350 a week from the government. Woo! But
I got
zero from the
230
podcast.
euro this week.
Nice.
Nice.
For actually earning a living, right?
But yeah. So you've been like seeing firsthand all the things that have been going on. Like I'm sure, like shit's changed since like the coronavirus happened in the shop.
In the shop, yeah. I mean, personally, nothing's really changed to be honest, because I don't really do anything other than work and go to college. And then college kind of ended. Everything was online. But in
Were
work,
you were you scared about getting it?
nah, man, I don't give a fuck.
Inward.
Man, I don't know I'll live. I'll live, like, but I'm scared I'm gonna give it to like my
Yeah,
granddad
yeah,
or
yeah.
something like that. That's all I'm scared about. I don't give
Yeah,
a fuck.
yeah,
Man. I'll live through that shit. Like, I live, bitch, but like, I'm not gonna, I don't wanna spread it to nobody.
Yeah, that's the
Um,
thing. That's like the big worry, isn't it? Like that's why me and my family haven't been very concerned about it because we don't like I actually don't know anybody that's at risk. Like that would be considered in the at risk category, you know?
yeah.
So
yeah.
if we got it, it'd probably just go through our family and nothing would happen.
Yeah.
But I can see how it'd be scary for other people who do know people that'd be, at risk. But upon saying that, I didn't give a fuck about your personal life, right? I was asking about the shop.
Just trying to contrast, between the two, whatever, man.
Do you have the glass screen thing or the perspex screens in front of you?
Yeah, of course.
Do you have to wear
We have
gloves
to.
all the time?
We had. I was wearing gloves for like the first 2 weeks, and then my boss was like, "Man, these are expensive as fuck, man." Because we were going through like two
Nice one.
boxes, like all of us, and I was like, "All right, well, apparently." And then someone came out and he's like, "Well, actually, washing your hands every like however many minutes and wearing gloves is actually kind of like more healthier or whatever. Like, what is it?
Yeah, you don't spread it because
Yeah,
you're always wearing the same pair of gloves, or like, whereas if you just use your hands and wash them every time you touch something, it's better
yeah.
than using the same pair of gloves
So
and touching
I've kind
everything.
of started doing that instead. I
Yeah.
mean, I have to make ice cream and shit, and every time I do, oh man, I hate weather that is like the weather that we have had like this past weekend, where it was like upwards of 20 degrees. Cause
It
man,
was super sunny the last few days.
I'm out here making milkshakes after milkshakes after milkshakes and a chocolate sundaes. Oh, can I get a smooch special with a Kinder on it, please? And will you put like extra toppings on the top there, please? Thank you very much. Yeah, man, that'll be 350 there, man. Okay, yeah, thanks. All right, just follow me down here. All right, put these gloves on. These new gloves that I just put on. Make this smooch special, bro. Oh, Kinder Cup, sorry, with extra
Oh,
bits on it.
Jesus.
There you go, man. Man, my boss gave out to me the other day because I put too much fucking Ferrero sauce on someone's thing. They're like, she was like, She was like, "Oh man, look, some people don't like it too chocolatey." And I'm man, every person that wants one, like I put as much on, and they're like, "Oh man, you give us another scoop there, please." And I'm like, "Okay,
Oh my
no butter,
god.
no butter, man." And I scoop, and I give it to them, man. And like, she comes up to me and says to me, "Hey, I gotta say though, my 99 making skills are pretty fucking good now, boys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like a sick 99. I was
Man, I
super bad
love
at it before.
99s.
I used to put like a massive block on it. Like I couldn't control how much I put on it. I wanted to give them like a lot of ice cream, because then I felt like I was scamming them if I didn't. But then my boss caught me one day and she was like, "Man, that is not that's too much." And I was like,
Bro,
"Alright."
bro, that's at least a 186, 188.
No.
Yeah. But then I came back because we couldn't
It's
make
not
cones for
190
forever.
something.
That was the worst
100,
joke
198. I didn't even do the math correctly.
Yeah, I was like, oh, he has to be 190 something. Oh god.
ever. Anyway.
Anyway, yeah, the ice creams. That's a solid
Yeah.
topic.
Just trying to
Um,
tell you what goes on in
uh,
Sweeney's, man.
Crash and burn.
um,
What are you talking about?
have you ever been robbed?
No.
Have you ever caught someone stealing?
Yes, I've been robbed. Alright, you wanna know what the rob story? Alright, I'll tell you for the sixth time. I don't know if these guys have heard it. You probably told them though.
I probably did
Alright.
tell them. I can't remember.
So it was like a year ago, okay, right? And it's a night shift. Night shifts is like 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., right? And
Oh,
it was around like 6 a.m. The door was open. Uh, it was just me in the shop, like because like the deli person comes in around 7, and these like two fucking bastards roll up in their shitty little car, and they don't got any fuel, and they look directly at me as they're walking, and I'm like, hold on, like my spidey senses started
I'm
thinking,
about to
right?
get robbed.
And then like they come in, they walk around, they get some like they pick up like Doritos and like bread and like these pot noodles, and they walk over and they like fill them up in like this like hot water dispenser or whatever,
Yeah.
and they bring it up to the counter and they're like, oh yeah, can I get a 20 Marlboro dark blue short? And I'm like, yeah man, no butter. Scan it all up. I'm like, all right man, it's 23.70. Do you want to just tap the
Man,
card?
you
They're like,
really
yeah.
do remember everything.
No, I'm just kind of guessing. I'm just kind of guessing. I don't know if it's actually 23.70.
Okay.
Anyways, I'm like, do you want to tap it? And they're like, yeah, man. And I tap it. It declines. I try it again. It declines. I try it again. It declines. Then his friend walks out to the car and he's like, yeah, I'll be back in a minute. And his other friend like grabs the cigarettes and the pot noodle and like and I'm back starts backing up and like trying to leave and I'm like, man, what's your man, stop. And he like there's no one else in the shop, so I run out and I'm like, man, give me them fucking cigarettes right now, you fucking little bastards. He's like, man, fuck you, man. And I fucking grab his. Yeah, okay, so the way he's looking at me, right? He's got cigarettes in his left hand and a pot noodle in the right hand, right? And I'm like, all right, what if he like fucking equalizes me? Like he like thinks and he's like, oh man, what if I splash him with his pot noodle soup?
Like
So I
Hot
like
water,
Sherlock
yeah.
Holmes, like
so
Robert
I
Downey Jr.
so I grab his fucking wrist and start shaking as hard as I can, right? And the pot noodle's going everywhere, bro. And then I try and grab the cigarettes, but he's like, what the fuck? And he pushes me off and he runs out the door. And then there's actually someone actually walked in while this was happening, and like went up to the counter and he's looking at me and I was like, man, can you help me, man? Man, and he runs down. The guy runs out, and I'm like, oh, man, thanks for help. And then I go I watched them right away. Oh man, these fucking cunts, they did like a loop around and like they went up and came back around and gave me the middle finger. Drive by.
Oh my god.
Hero.
And I was like,
You take it out, like.
I was like, are you kidding me, man? I got away with the cigarettes, but didn't get that fucking pot
The
noodle.
pot noodle's
Stop
mine.
talking about the pot noodle.
And then
Yeah,
I was
but
just
you
like,
don't get the pot noodles back either. Like they're gone.
They're open.
hey,
He might
man,
as well have taken
hey
it.
man,
Just chuck them all over the floor.
Oh my god.
moral of the story is no one got the pot noodles. And that's fine with me.
That's the
Anyways,
moral of the story.
moral of the story is pot
Don't try
noodles
steal
are-
from me. But we
Don't try
gotta
steal-
like, how tall was this guy?
He was
Yeah,
like 6 foot.
you're like 6'6".
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
like, to put this in context, Luke is like 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah, he was taller than me, so
Yeah,
you have to be
he's taller,
6'5".
Man, he was like 6 foot, 6'1". Man,
So-
there was, okay,
Did you,
okay.
you
There
should
was
you
two
should try get
guys.
security
Send
footage.
such
Man,
a
okay,
little
listen to me,
bitch.
listen to me. If two
Grabbing
fucking
the
guys
hot
came into
noodle.
you at 6 a.m., they look like they haven't slept yet. They were obviously just going around looking for trouble. Man, I'm gonna get stabbed in the fucking
Yeah,
neck,
yeah,
man. And you're
fair
like,
enough.
oh man, good man, bring the pot noodles, man. That was the least of my worries, man. I was scared he was gonna whip out a fucking pistol and shoot me in the face because Connor fucking whatever his name is was sending in gore videos that night of some guy getting shot in the face because he was working in a shop. And I'm here like, oh my god, bro. I don't want to
Oh
be
my
here anymore.
god.
Anyways, I called my boss up and I was like, man, some fucking guy. Some fucking guys came in here and they took some cigarettes and that was it. And then she was like, oh, okay, stay calm, stay calm. I'll be there in 10 minutes. Took her half an hour. Anyways, she gets here. She's like, oh, Luke, oh, I'm sorry about this. I'll check the cameras later and just go home now. Just get a chicken roll there, free, and it's free. And the deli wasn't even open yet. So I was like, what the fuck, man?
Just wait around for the deli to open.
Ah, but I left,
An
man.
hour and
Extra
a
hour.
half.
I went home and I was like, I'm going to bed, man. I don't want to. What the fuck just happened? Man? I was like in shock, man. I can't believe this, man. But I've been practicing, man. Next time I've been practicing. I'm like, next time someone comes in there, bro, I'm gonna be
More
like,
nunchucks.
I'll be like, next time, man, I'm gonna see it coming, man. Oh, lately I've been getting so angry too, because people are so fucking stupid. You know the way in shops they have like the arrows and pointing where to go, and it's like it's
Oh,
just like
yeah.
yeah, people just turn around and walk back the way they came, man. And there's like 10 people, man, and I'm like, hey, walk this way. And they look at me like I have 3 heads, man. Man, just fucking follow the fucking sign. There's a, you know the big plastic thing. There's literally a sign on that with an arrow, a massive arrow that covers nearly my entire face, man. And it says go this way, and no one reads it, man. Oh, I just want to stomp on someone's fucking head, man. Anyways,
Right, we've
what was
opened
that
that
again?
can of worms.
We won't bring up
Holy
Rob.
fuck.
Well, at least we didn't miss Peter's rant. Fucking hell.
Yeah, at least someone's getting angry.
Oh man, that is
Oh, fuck
to this day that is the funniest story I've ever heard. Fucking pot noodles, man. I'm gonna be telling my kids that story.
it. Shaking his hand.
Well, he got a cigarette,
He
man.
was
That's
probably just so confused.
I'm not
like,
fake.
it's
Look
quick
at his eyes,
thinking.
man.
What the
It's
fuck
quick
is he doing?
thinking. Like, imagine this could be completely different. Like, you could be on this podcast telling the story of how some guy scalded you with pot noodles. Like,
Yeah, man.
oh,
Fuck.
that's funny as fuck. Do you still work night shifts?
Sometimes they have like the permanent night crew now. It's like 3 people, but whenever she needs somebody,
But there's a
probably
permanent night. Why do you need 3 people for nights?
for
In
holidays.
case
shit, man.
someone comes in and tries to rob pot
Jeez, the
noodles.
noodle people
Yeah.
as well.
Well, you can't go into the shop like it's a window.
Oh yeah.
It's a window up until the deli person comes in.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
man.
then there's like a frail old woman in there with you. Like, what's that gonna fucking do, man?
Yeah, you shake her pot noodles, man. Um,
Oh, but next time that shit happens to me, because I know it's gonna happen again. I'm just not gonna hold back. I'm gonna fucking beat somebody to a fucking bloody pulp and take the Mayfair off the cigarettes off their dead fucking corpse, man, and kick them out the door and lock the door,
Jesus Christ.
and then smoke the cigarettes.
and then call the ambulance. Be like, yeah, I've got a straggler here, boys.
We've got another one. I don't think you're legally allowed to do that.
I'm not legally allowed to. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's you have to. Isn't it you have to know that they've stolen something? Like,
Yeah,
I'm
but you're
pretty
still
sure I
not
had
allowed to like
100%.
punch them.
They're on fuck
You're
them,
not
man.
allowed
I
to get
don't give a
physical
fuck.
with them, like.
Bro, I'll
Yeah,
beat
or
their ass. I'll beat their
self-defense.
ass.
Anything for the garage.
Yeah. Like, what do you give a fuck? You know?
Yeah, if someone came into
Illegal.
the hotel and started taking shit, I'd be like, yeah, I didn't see it.
What do you mean, man?
You can go
The hotels had employees take shit.
I've taken shit.
Actually, yeah,
I
I've
can't say
about,
that.
yeah, well, they don't know. Surely
Bro, do you remember the
You keep
chewing gum?
saying,
Oh
oh,
shit!
we still have that.
We
still
took-
have, like,
We took about
packets and
6
packets.
lifetimes worth of chewing gum from the hotel. That's
Man,
still in there.
I have about 3 Apple chargers that I just straight up stole from the general manager's office.
Oh,
Oh wow,
nice.
Jesus, that kind of seems a bit more.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
then
What the fuck?
Didn't do anything
a
bad.
load of, a load of cutlery. So.
You just stole his charger.
Cutlery.
Why do you think it's cutlery?
Now his alarm won't go off.
Well, just the usual shit: pens,
It's the
food.
usual
Oh,
shit.
yeah,
You
we
know,
all-
a place of cutlery. Alright. What are you talking about, man?
Well, man, I fully stocked my
They
house
had an
not
old
blown
whole
and shit.
antique china set, and I stole it.
Man, I've broken
fuck
shit,
no,
broken
I've
glasses.
been, the amount of things I've broken.
But like, didn't Raph trying to take a sandwich maker?
Toaster.
Toaster, yeah.
Oh. Man,
Yeah.
what's this?
And
What
then
do
he
I
got-
talk about? A sandwich maker? What is a sandwich maker?
Oh, you can't be stealing the women here from the food.
Stealing.
That's
Damn it.
kidnapping now, Raph.
Oh man.
Fucking Raph, man.
Yeah, I haven't seen him since he left. Thank God.
Have you seen
Have
him
we
yesterday?
any-
McDonald's by your place?
What?
Where is he in McDonald's now?
Like
In Nace. or
Nace?
something,
Yeah.
Oh, Nace, is it?
Or
Yeah.
Selbridge. Nace or Selbridge.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it
Well, Millwall said he saw him, so it must have been Nace or Newbridge, I think.
Newbridge, it is, I think.
Have we any stories from work of people?
Work
Um,
stories, gee.
um,
Nothing very interesting.
I just
happened.
had,
It's
like,
kinda
rude
people being
people, yeah.
stupid, yeah.
Yeah, you always get rude people, and you always get people that are like just being weird,
yeah,
like for no reason.
Yeah, people are
Like
are
old
just, like,
people.
absolutely dumb.
Yeah,
Like, you tell them one thing, and then they're like, "Oh, can you get a manager?" And you're like, "Bro, I'm actually more useful than the manager right now, so like, listen to me." And then you get like the manager, and then they'd come down, or like a supervisor, or someone in a suit, like, and then they just completely fuck the whole situation up.
Yeah, there's idiots, man.
yeah.
Make you look like a fucking retard.
When you're preaching to the choir right now, man. I work in retail, man. Retail is a nightmare, man.
I think just dealing with society is an absolute nightmare.
Yeah,
Like,
anywhere you have to deal with people, because there's stupid ass fucking people everywhere, bro.
I
It's
wonder
actually
if
not
they
funny.
think that we're stupid. Like,
I mean,
you know,
definitely.
like,
I think it's an age thing as well, though, because a lot, like, the hotel is most hotels will have young people, right? But like,
yeah, all students.
we have
and
like
stuff.
all young people. Like, there's barely any old people that work
Yeah.
there, and I think it's kind of they look at us like,
As
oh,
if
they're
we don't
kids.
know
They don't
anything.
really know what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? That's why it's always, oh, can you get a manager or stuff like that? And you just obviously you'd want to speak to a manager rather than a fucking stupid, fucking
Just regular
random
Joe.
person.
Yeah, I know, but like when you're telling them, oh yeah, the like some thing, like, oh, the thing is meant to start at 7, and it's like 6:55, and you're like, where's our food? And I'm like, bro, it's at 7. And then you
Yeah.
go get the manager, and then
And
it's
then he tells them it's also
6:57,
at 7.
and then it's at 7, and then your man's like, okay then, like,
Yeah.
that just, it's absolutely
Yeah, they kind of just think we're
stupidity.
lying to them. Like,
Yeah, it's like, no, this is what's written down on the thing that you've decided with the hotel, like,
I'm
and
trying to
how
think
are
who's the
we meant
worst.
to be wrong?
Like,
Yeah.
weddings generally aren't that bad.
Yeah,
Uh,
I enjoy weddings. Weddings fly for me. Like,
well, yeah, because
once you start a
rarely
wedding-
interact
Now
with
they do,
people.
yeah.
yeah.
Once they, at the start, I remember them taking forever. Like, a
Well,
shift
yeah, when
would
you're trying to
literally
learn.
feel an absolute lifetime, and I'd be literally knocked out. Like, I'd only get 1 day a week, say, and then I'd literally be knocked out for 2 days. That's how tired I would be, because my central nervous system was just fried and trying to
Central nervous
learn
system.
everything. Shut up, Adam. I have a degree.
Yeah, use it
In
then.
central nervous systems?
In hotel management. Yeah, I don't know. The hotel sucks dick.
Yeah, just working in a hotel, working with people, and working with shitty managers. Man, I saw one of the hotel managers. It wasn't ours. It was a restaurant manager the other day. I think his kids go to the school near me because he was at the school the day that they were like
Oh,
dropping off books.
that's a bit dodgy.
Oh, wait a minute.
Maybe there's
Just chilling
abducting
around the
kids, man.
school.
They weren't his kids.
Hmm. Yeah, that was it. Man, it's gonna be so weird going back to work. You
Yeah,
know?
I don't want to do it at all.
Yeah, I don't either. And I
Like all the other people are saying, "Oh, I can't wait to go back," and I'm like, "Why the fuck would you want to
Why?
go back?"
Yeah, you're already
It
getting
makes no
money for
sense.
doing nothing. I'm strongly considering just staying on the dole after this. Just like, you know what? I'm happy with my whatever the dole is, 180 euro a week or something.
mm.
I'm like,
Well,
yo,
fun.
I'm happy.
to be honest, what I'd love to do is I just love to just like get a place in like somewhere and just work nearby to there, you know? And just like move
Nearby
out
to.
to the new place.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just somewhere chill like where I don't have to do 12-hour shifts, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you actually get food on a break and get
Yeah.
treated with basic human rights.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the worst part of it.
Man, the worst part for me, I've been doing a lot of thinking about this. The worst part for me was I don't even know if it's favoritism. It's like anti-favoritism. It's like hatredism.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's true.
Because like
That's been the same since I
because
started.
yeah,
John,
because like
with
the
like
the
people
managers,
before you or no.
yeah, the managers have people that they love like, and you know they'll get extra shifts when they're going, and you know they'll
They get
preferential
away with different
treatment,
stuff.
and they get away with stuff, and I'm just hated. And it's not
Oh
even
man,
I'm
do
not
you
even
remember?
hated by everybody. It's hated by like the people that matter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like do you remember I was on like I'd be on my I'd be just well I'd probably have all them privileges, but remember in the I won't say the room name, but I was literally on my phone and the manager walked
Yeah.
through and said absolutely nothing to me. He just walked past, and then John came in the room like 2 seconds later, and went on your phone, John, and he was like, "John, get off your phone. Come on, do a bit of work." I can't remember what he exactly said, but it was like John literally looked at me. It was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. It's insane. It's like he's a goldfish. No.
No, it actually is like.
Anyway, yeah, that was
Oh, Luke, do you get like weird messages off your managers or like other people in work,
Like when you're at home.
like out of work hours? Like, do they ever
Um,
send you gifts or memes or anything?
I don't know if I should tell this story.
Oh shit.
Well, it's not weird, but it's just kind of like I don't want to get like I don't want to like the FBI to use this information to incriminate me.
When you murder someone who's trying to
oh,
rob you.
it's something to do with something, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, just say it. It doesn't matter.
All right. So
Here we go.
I smoke like a lot of weed. Like I mean,
Nice.
recently I've been smoking weed.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, he
And
thinks it's weed, but it
this
might
guy,
not be.
this guy that I work with, I actually kind of got him his job there. He was like, him and his friends smoke a lot, and I used to they used to like stay
Allegedly
over.
smoke a lot.
They used to stay over in college and shit, like, cause we go out and Athlone,
Yeah,
EIT,
as
and
long to the bone.
we'd have a good old time, you know. And yeah, so recently I started smoking more because I had nothing else to do, and this guy gets his stuff, and I get my stuff off this other guy who's like 30 years old in work, and man, he's some lad.
is that is that the whole story?
I mean, I don't know, like,
That's pretty
what
anticlimactic.
what do you want me to say? Oh yeah, he sends me
Man,
free gifts on Facebook.
yeah, I swear to God, the manager we have has contacted me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, and he's just made a Snapchat as well. So I'm waiting on can you add me on Snapchat? Text message as well, phone calls.
And just for
What else am
context,
I missing?
what is he saying when he contacts you?
Oh, it's like he sent me something there. Yes, was it yesterday? of his kid driving his car, just
Nice.
like with absolutely no context whatsoever. Then there's other like like funny fail videos on Facebook. He'll send me
Fail army.
he'll copy the link from Facebook and then send it to me on Instagram. Like,
It's
like,
just a boomer, man.
Yeah, literally.
yeah,
He just
I
has.
think.
He just needs a friend.
Yeah,
yeah,
I think he
no, there's
doesn't know how to.
oh, he
I
sent
don't
the
know.
exact same thing to like this same like four. How many people is it? One, two, three. Same kind of four people that
Yeah.
I know of, anyways.
Yeah, like he hasn't contacted me ever.
But do you follow him on Instagram?
See,
Me or
Yeah,
him? Yeah, I do.
you. Do you?
Yeah,
Bro,
because
why? He was going
he
around.
followed me.
Yeah, he was going around following everyone, and I was like, I'm
yeah,
just not gonna follow you back. Like, why the fuck would I follow my manager on Instagram? Like, I'm not gonna be fucking liking your pictures. Do you know what I mean? And I don't want you to like mine.
Yeah,
So it
I
was
mean,
just this.
I don't like his pictures, but
yeah. I don't know either. See, I had it before they were manager of our department. So like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
I never saw him and didn't think, I like, I knew they were a gobshite, but like, I never. I was like, gosh, sure, I'm never gonna, never gonna. I never talk to him. I just like know pretty much who he is, and you just be like, have the crack in the kitchen, just like saying whatever, and then you just move on with your life. But this is
Yeah.
like, be my best friend. We're now pals.
yeah.
Strange, alright. He's a weird fellow.
So, Luke, you're saying your managers don't send you memes?
Man, there
Fucking
the only
weirdos.
okay. There's the two owners and there's one manager, and the manager is the nicest person I've ever met in my entire life.
I
Honestly, he's
I take
such
offense
a
to that.
sound lad.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh man, he's so sound. Anyways,
That must be nice.
Yeah.
I have to say,
then
that
the
must
rest,
be nice.
half the people. There's about like 4 or 5 middle-aged women in like the main part. Not middle-aged, like middle-aged, like
25.
50, 60.
Okay.
Elderly?
Middle of their lifespan is what I'm trying to say. And then there's this gay guy called Michael, and he's such a cool guy, but like he's gay.
What?
I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. I know he's actually such a cool guy. Then there's like a bunch of just people around my age, bunch of college kids. But yeah, I don't really. We have a group chat on WhatsApp.
Yeah, we
Oh,
have a group
we've
chat
a
on Messenger
group
as
chat
well.
on
That's
Messenger
that's
and
about it.
WhatsApp.
No, I'm not in the WhatsApp one. I'm not cool enough.
They
The
just
owner
didn't have
keeps
your number.
she doesn't know how to say like thanks a mil. She always says like thanks as milk or something. Like the autocorrect always comes in, man.
That's kind of sick. You
Yeah,
just
I hear. I'll try to find like stuff on my phone and see if I can read some out.
Just expose him.
yeah. And his name is,
This
and he
is his,
lives at.
SWAT team.
okay. So he went on a one. This is just on Messenger. One, two, three. He sent me 3 videos with no response. Yet just kept sending them to me.
Nice.
Yeah, hang on, I'll check.
I have a controversial question.
Instagram.
Uh-oh.
Do you, if somebody sends you a meme, like
Mhm.
say you're like on TikTok or whatever,
Started very controversial.
and you're sending somebody a meme, do they have to respond to that meme, or is it enough to just send it? Like, I don't get offended when somebody doesn't respond to a meme that I
I
send
don't
them,
need a response now.
but I know people that are like, bro, I saw that you read it, and I'm like, yeah, I enjoyed the meme, thank you, like,
Yeah, like it's a weird thing of what do you want me to just say ha 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 ha
It depends
yeah,
on the
over and over
meme,
and
I
over again?
suppose. If it's in relation to something you've been talking about, and I'd probably be like, "Oh yeah, that's funny" or something. But if it's just like a random thing
Yeah, like
where
if you
you,
can respond, like not if you can respond, like I don't know, it doesn't really matter.
yeah,
yeah. All right, fair enough. That's as controversial as it's getting today.
No, let's make it more. Oh, I don't know. I don't have any.
Uh, Okay, so
Is Santa Claus real?
yes, obviously.
Oh fuck. Okay.
Um, so there's been a lot going on in the world.
Oh really?
No, we've dodged that bullet for a good while.
Yeah, we talked about it a bit last episode, but
a
since
bit.
then, it's like
Yeah, it's
even
really
since
important.
then,
Man, I considered deleting Instagram. That's how
so did I.
like
Kind of
not
like a
and
hyperdrive.
yeah, no, I understand it's a genuine problem. Like this whole if you're silent, you're a white supremacist shit is completely the levels
Man,
of stupidity is.
I don't even wish people happy birthday on Facebook, man. Like, I don't do
Like
anything like that. I just never post.
yeah, I if I post the odd picture
Doesn't mean I
every
don't
6 months,
people.
but like yeah, like I can give you like everyone's like a couple of my friends have like been like I can't believe my friends have stayed silent throughout the whole thing. I'm like, bro, I could give you literally 5 books off the top of my head. I listen to rap and like black culture, I suppose. And you're like, you don't even know who the fuck Rosa Parks is, and yet you're all like, oh yeah, if you're white, you're part of the KKK, or if you're silent, you're part of the KKK.
Just either give like
Like,
Kendrick Lamar shit for not saying anything.
are
Yeah, they're
you
getting
That
a
guy's
lot
having
of.
a laugh?
that guy is like,
Oh man, I literally have his
what the
vinyl,
fuck?
like three of his vinyl, two of his vinyl. Oh man, I fucking I can't take it anymore.
To Pimp a Butterfly did so much for black culture. It's actually
Yeah,
crazy.
like and then you have like say I have that vinyl. Does that mean because I didn't post that oh I bought his music that I'm a racist? Like that's fucking so
Yeah.
stupid.
It's
You
weird.
are kind of racist, Joe.
It's weird how people are like making connections that don't exist.
Yeah.
Like people are looking at they're for lack of a better term, they're looking at the little picture. They're not looking at the big picture.
Oh yeah,
Like
they
Yeah, the
no
real
one's
problem, like.
looking at the actual systems. They just go out and protest. Yeah, everyone know it. Like who the fuck, what sort of racist is gonna or fucking KKK member is gonna go out into the street and go and protest against them? Like everyone, like I can't even begin to
yeah,
put sentences together how stupid it is. Like
but like
there's no one's protesting the actual systems. Like they come out and like, oh yeah, Donald Trump's the thing, blah blah blah. But you voted him in to, and like most, I'm pretty sure it's a known fact that like most minorities don't vote in America. And so like if you just went out and voted, then like some like progress could be made. I'm not saying like oh because you didn't vote like everyone's a racist. I still know it's going to
yeah,
be a problem and everything, but like oh it's just
yeah, the people underestimate the power of voting.
yeah
Definitely.
or like even going out and right. So my if I go out and vote, I still exercise your right to vote, but I don't actually vote for anyone. So I just like spoil the vote and be like, yo, this thing's everyone here is a fucking gobshite. So like that I'm making my voice known. So if everyone's like, oh, but one person, well, like say Hillary was the worst of two evils out of him, her, and Trump. Well, why doesn't everyone just go out, spoil their vote, and be like, yo, we want a new person to actually run this country, and like
Yeah.
that goes across for Ireland, for every single country on the planet. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. A
No,
change needs
no,
to happen, and
yeah,
I think it is. I think a lot of good things are coming from it. I think I was reading about I think it was LA are taking like a couple like uh I think it was like 100 to 150 million away from the police fund and putting it towards like development of poorer communities
oh yeah, I heard
Poor
about
areas, yeah.
that.
and things like that. And there's just some messed up systems that need to be fixed. Like
Yeah,
um
and
the
go on.
schools are funded by property tax mainly. So when your property is a poorer property, you're not giving as much property tax, so your school isn't getting enough funding. And that's why all of
Yeah,
the rich, white, for a better term, like
yeah,
neighborhoods have better schools, while all of the other, like, it's like you're punished for being at a disadvantage instead of helped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
If
exactly.
you get me? Like things like that need to change. They need to get the money from somewhere. They need to realign where their money comes from or is
Mm.
going. If you get me,
I know. It's super fucked.
it is super fucked up. There's videos going around
It's
everywhere
good
that
that
are super
everyone's
fucked up.
protesting and stuff, though. I think it's and that it's keeping its traction as well. Hopefully, it'll keep going until something actually happens.
Yeah,
It's
see,
weird that the
I don't
only
think it
thing.
will though. Obviously, I
Yeah, no,
don't
it
want
never
it
does.
to, but
But
I don't think it
this time,
will.
I feel like it's a little bit different, especially with the fact that it's during coronavirus. Like, if you think about the amount of people that can be out there now because they're not in work, do you know what I mean? Or because
Yeah,
there's just the more people that are just at home and now they can just go, oh, I'll just go to this protest, and then it just, even if it just looks bigger, if you know what I mean. And I think it's weird that the only thing that's actually been addressed is the like looting and rioting. Do you know what I mean? Like nobody's actually come out and said, like, in the power side has said, yeah, we're gonna attempt to, look at things and try make it better. They've just gone, yeah, man, this fucking looting and rioting shit is really bad, and they're just trying to paint it as that's all that it's about. Do you know what I mean? Like the only thing that this actual protest is about is they wanted a fucking new TV,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's just I don't
And
know.
that is unfortunate. There are people spoiling it by just going out and trying to
Yeah,
get a new
yeah, it's
100%.
TV.
being
Yeah,
opportunist.
Um, but yeah,
and
those are not great people. Those are bad people. They're ruining a good cause like that needed to happen for the last good while to
yeah.
like for their own gain.
But then again, the police don't seem to fucking give a shit. You see, is so many like fair enough the videos where you see fucking I don't know punch a cop and then they get not fair enough, but and then they get angry and kind of push back a little bit. But you literally see people
Mm.
just stood there, somewhat like basically what's the word? Peacefully protest, and they just go, all right, let's just charge them down. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a
Like it
strange
makes
thing
me
where
wonder, do they have somebody in their ear saying like, "All right, it's gotten out of hand, start shooting your rubber bullets or whatever." And then that person who's in the
I think
ear
they
never
do.
gets
yeah,
blamed. Because
yeah,
they're not
I
definitely.
think
there.
they do. Because like there was one. Did you see the guy the white? He's kind of a tall white guy, and he's
Bald
just
fella.
standing in front of the. Yeah, and he gets pushed
Yeah,
back, and he cracks
Outlaw.
his head off the thing. And one of the police officers goes down to pick him up, and then the other one stops him from picking him up, and
Yeah,
then you
but I
can
think that
see.
was so he keeps going forward and doesn't let people through, and then you can see another guy behind him kneels down beside the other guy. Like, don't get me. Either way, the whole thing was wrong. But
Yeah,
like,
like
your man who knocked him down, knelt down beside him, because you can tell he didn't. I
no,
mean,
he
like
just
he
kept
he
walking.
pushed him. Like, don't get me wrong, but he didn't mean for him to fall over and split his fucking head open. And then he sees the blood on the floor, and he's like, "Fuck." So then he goes to kneel down, and then you can see the man beside him say, "Get up and move forward." And then he goes and moves forward,
No,
and then
the guy that pushed him just stopped the complete other random
oh, did
officer
he?
from picking him up, and then he stopped him, and the guy that pushed him over and just kept walking, and then everyone behind him was obviously like, okay, we're not touching him. I assume he had some sort of your man that pushed him had some sort of power over everyone else for them just to like not do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know? It's just like oh
It must be awful to be black, or even just to be a police officer in this shit. Like
Yeah.
I know some people are you clearly see they fucking love it. They're fucking taking advantage of and beating the shit out of people. But
Yeah,
yeah,
there
it's
was a
there's
on
video
purpose.
sadists out there.
they got
And I think it's a good
what's it
job. It's like a
the
yeah, go on.
Coast Guard, not the Coast Guard, the
A
fucking
National Guard.
National Guard. They came and there was a black guy stood in the front in uniform, and they were the crowd were just sort of chanting, I'm black and proud, I'm black and proud." And then you can see he's like whispering it to himself while he's like penning them in. Do you know what I mean? Like you can see he's having a hard time of what the fuck do I do? Do I do my job or do I?
Yeah, conflict.
Yeah, it's fucked. I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't know, man. It's kind of it's difficult because like people are violent on both sides, and it seems to
Yeah,
me that the only that like they're constantly tackling the violence with violence, and then sometimes it's the police that are recorded, like they won't record the first half, and or like it's cut up, and then sometimes this you see the whole thing, and then sometimes it's the other way around where you see people being violent towards police or property, things like that. And it's just difficult to know because there's good and bad on both sides,
Yeah, 100%.
and you
Like even
need
Context
there's
matters.
context
pictures
does
of
matter.
Yeah.
a bunch of police officers came back to where they pushed that guy over, and there was a bunch of people protesting there again in the exact same spots, like because something bad had happened there, and they were just chilling, kneeling down beside where he'd been thrown onto the floor. Does anyone know that he died?
The guy who hit his head?
Yeah,
I don't know.
neither do I. But a lot of
Hopefully
police
he
officers
didn't.
came and kneeled down, spot where they pushed him down and
Do you know the
protested
guy
with
who
people for a while.
like was protecting his store with a sword?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he fucking died, man.
Really?
Did he
Yeah,
actually?
he got jumped. Yeah, man. Did you not see his fucking broken ass body after that shit, man? Like 50 people jumped him.
No, I
Shit's
didn't
fucked.
see that. I just
Pretty
heard
sure
about
he,
it.
pretty sure he did die though.
That's insane. And the police chief that died, somebody just came up behind him and shot him.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Shit's nuts. There's violent people out there and they're thriving in this, and that is
Yeah.
the biggest problem. No matter what side they're on, there's violent
Yeah,
people out
they've
there
just taken
thriving
it
on
as
it.
an opportunity if I can do whatever the fuck I want because I can use it as I'm doing it in the name of Black Lives Matter when
Yeah,
it actually has
exactly.
nothing to do with it. It's for your own personal gain.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how this is going to turn out because obviously they can't protest and riot forever. And it's very, very evident that something is going to have to change for
Yeah.
like major. So, seeing how this is going to turn out, seeing the change that it's going to make, I just hope that I'm not disappointed with like empty promises or
Yeah.
something like that.
Did you see all of the officers, the four officers, the George Floyd thing, got put up to second degree murder?
Yeah, and
And
rightly so.
there's calls. People are saying now stop signing the petition, stop calling in to say put it up more because if it gets put up to first degree, that means he planned it. Like he was like, okay,
Like
I'm
he
gonna go
intentionally
arrest
went
George
out.
Floyd
Yeah.
and I'm gonna go kill him. Um, and people are
Didn't
saying
they?
please like stop so that he only gets second degree in a sense of he can't get out of it now. Do you know what I mean? Because he actually did commit second degree, where he didn't commit first degree murder.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Like they can prove that it wasn't intentional, or they can
yeah,
argue that it wasn't
Yeah.
intentional,
obviously, yeah,
Yeah.
and
but
he'll get out of it. Yeah,
Did
they
you see that
can't.
guy who got banned on Twitch
no,
because he said he made a joke about the George Floyd thing?
no.
He was like, "Baby, are you a police officer because you take my breath away?"
Fuck,
Oh, fuck me.
that's just.
And he made it on he did like a podcast like this, like the Raj thing. I don't know
Oh
if you
yeah,
know
Russia.
it is. He did it on that. Then he got like a, I don't know if he's unbanned yet, but yeah.
That's nuts. How
People
people
are
can
so
be so
soft.
stupid and just
People are
so.
so soft nowadays.
Oh, another thing I
But
wanted to say is,
that's not soft though. That's a bad thing, like that he said, and he
yeah,
probably should have been. There is people banging around in my house. Can you hear that?
No.
Okay, good. Um, he shouldn't have said that, and maybe a suspension would have been better, but
He gets
punishment should have definitely happened.
he
Like,
got
could you imagine his family heard it?
It's
what's
way
it?
too much.
too soon.
On Twitter they have a whole, if you go into search, it has like a whole COVID-19 tab where it says like sports, news, entertainment, and stuff.
Yeah,
And I'm just saying, like, why don't they have
Black Lives Matter one.
like Black Lives Matter or like where that's literally taken over the world? And I haven't heard one thing about coronavirus in the
Yeah,
past
but you
week.
haven't heard anything about coronavirus because everyone's been talking about the thing. And
Yeah,
it's
and
totally
obviously
overshadowed
it's
that.
Yeah.
Nobody
died
gives a
out
shit
a
about it
little
anymore.
bit. Like
So
in
I'm just
Ireland, we're
saying, why
down
don't?
to 2 to 4 new deaths and like
That's a day,
15
yeah.
to
And new
20
cases has been
new
below
cases.
100 for the past 2 weeks,
Yeah,
which is why we're
or maybe it was
speeding
more
up
than that,
the
but
re thing, the new
yeah,
process.
we're bringing forward. And just to, as a side note, I thought of some wholesome content just there like a few minutes ago that we can watch after this. So
Oh, nice. Did you guys see? Fuck, I don't know if I'm gonna. Did you guys see the John Boyegas? He was out rioting.
Yeah.
It's a protest on me. Wasn't
Oh,
Protesting,
sorry, he
yeah.
wasn't rioting. Sorry, yeah, he was protesting. But and he said I might lose my job for this, but fuck it. And then I think it was Star Wars. I don't know if it was Star
It
Wars
was
or Disney
Disney
put up
and
a
Star Wars.
Oh,
both of them
retweeted or
put up
something.
pictures saying "We stand with you, John Boyega," which I thought was
Mm.
super cool. Which is a little bit of pre-wholesome content.
Yeah.
Um,
Like there's a lot of good coming out of this, and obviously it's a thing that a lot of people are passionate about, and it's just up until now it's just the voices and the actions of the people that are obvious, like racists and
yeah,
things like that,
Mm.
have, even though they're less in number, they've far over to like
Yeah, they have a
overtaken
great.
the,
Yeah, yeah.
because
and
normal people don't,
especially in
this is the thing now, it's no longer good enough to be not racist, you have to be anti-racist, because when you're just not racist, the racist people's voices are being heard over yours.
yeah, they're
So
saying shit louder, and it's because and the reason people are blaming Trump because I've seen some shit of saying like, why is Trump getting hate? Like it's not as if he told the people to be racist, but it was because of his views that gave people the thought that now they can say whatever they want. You know what I mean? Like when
yeah,
Mm.
he's saying shit about Mexicans and I think he said stuff about African Americans.
Oh
There
yeah,
was
he
some
called
speech
them
thing.
thugs or something. Oh,
Yeah.
apparently that quote got missed.
Oh, really?
I'm not defending him. He's quite obvious like a
Yeah, yeah, no.
bad
Yeah, well that
person, but
seemed
like
quite bad. I was like, there's no way he
there,
said
I
that.
think Chloe Grace Moretz put up a eight, like an 8 slide thing on Instagram,
Yeah.
and each one of the things has like dates and like quotes that he said on each date, or like things that his like hotels and companies
Yeah.
do, and there's like 3 or 4 things per 8 slide
Oh.
yeah,
um
So it's
per
like
picture, like,
they've been
but it's
given
all
a
like,
voice because
yeah.
he's in
he's in
office.
power, like yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I
Again,
nearly fell off my chair.
he's not telling people, here man, fuck them black kids out there, like, but it's just
Like all the, yeah.
it's given them like almost like a confidence or like a thing of it's like what's the word, like a moral high ground, I guess, of it's right because our president says so. And people are crazy in America as well, like the super patriots, like the fucking um
I would
I
never
don't know,
do
like,
anything to
yeah, I would never do
offend
anything
my
to the
flag.
yeah, the flag and shit like that. There was outrage. They were burning the American flag in one of the protests or the riots, and people went fucking mad, saying, "What the fuck you
Yeah.
doing? Disrespect
Yeah,
my
but sure,
country like that."
that's like illegal. That's like one of the things.
No,
You're not allowed.
I
You're not allowed defame the flag. You're not allowed to have it on your floor. You're not allowed
Yeah, you
make
can't touch the
clothes
ground.
out of it. You can't like cut it up and make clothes
yeah,
out
yeah,
of it, or put parts of it on clothes or anything like that. You can have it on Ralph Lauren has like an American flag thing.
yeah, yeah,
You can have that, but as long as it wasn't made out of an actual flag first.
yeah.
Things like that. People are
But like,
nuts over their flag.
it's just crazy, and it's
It
just I
is.
don't know. It's like, can you imagine that? Like, if I seen a burning Irish flag, I'd be like, all right, whatever, cool. You know what I mean? Who the fuck gives a shit?
Yeah.
But then over there, it's like
Like
you've
somebody's just heating
personally
themselves.
offended them. Like, yeah,
I think the whole
Fucking
military
American,
thing
man.
though with that, like,
fucking Americans.
Man, I
Nuke
seen
'em.
this big fucking fat guy said it on YouTube. It's called How to Barbecue, right? And
Jesus.
this man got a. Here, I gotta find this video real quick. This video made me complete. This big fucking lad, he's just a big fucking lad, like,
There's no two
like,
ways about it.
and he just made this thing, and I just want to share with you guys. They're called jerk serving bites, and oh my god, guys.
If you want to stream it, you can
Oh, here, sure.
stream it, and I'll put it on the thing.
Oh wait, I don't wanna. All right,
Delete all the porn first.
so we're watching this video.
Yeah.
Oh, they're like
Alright, look at his
scrumptious.
fucking
Oh,
food.
man,
There's like a
the thing's
postman.
as wide as them.
That is a fucking big piece of meat. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
How did this come to your head from this conversation?
Man, I'm so drunk right
Americans.
now. I'm so buzzed right now, man. I was just thinking of barbecue, and I seen that on YouTube, and I was like, oh man,
I'm
go
so
for barbecue
hungry
right now.
now.
Alright, let's watch this, bro.
Skipped it.
Oh,
Oh
man.
yeah.
That looks
Man.
good.
Oh, that's good. Oh.
He was like, mouth-sized pieces. You want some mouth-sized pieces? Man, he could fit that whole thing in his mouth right now. And I'd watch him do it too. Come on,
Oh.
take a bite. Take a bite, big guy. I know you
all
want
your
to.
all your hard work.
I know you want to. Oh!
Oh, he teased
Oh,
it.
Nice.
What is that pussy bite, bro?
Look at his face, man.
He likes that shit.
So
He's
content.
enjoying it.
What a guy, man. Anyways.
Thanks,
What was
Max.
Do wholesome content.
Yeah. I'm kind of hungry. I had corn today for the first time, like QURN, like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Beyond Meat thing.
Oh, so you're a vegan now,
the
Joe?
mints?
It was
No vegans allowed on this.
sorry, man.
That's
It was pretty good.
my rule.
It didn't taste like meat though. I thought it would taste like meat.
Yeah.
It didn't. Anyway, the
Go on.
wholesome content that I
Wholesome
thought
content.
of, that normally we have it planned like beforehand and we know what we're gonna watch, but I just thought of this a few minutes ago. Why don't we watch one or two of Luke's videos?
What's what?
One or two of Luke's videos.
Nah.
Oh yes.
Alright.
No,
What's Luke's
those you
video?
You want me to
don't
what?
know,
You want me to stream it or?
Luke is a famous YouTuber.
He's got
bigger
more
than our
subscribers
channel.
than
I don't
us.
know. Yeah, I don't know why.
30 subs on the
One of-
Scuffed boys. 6
It's a
of them
real-
are me.
It's a real hit to his career for him to come onto this, but he
He's
didn't.
taking a step back.
How do I? Oh yeah, not streaming am I? So, wait, do you want me to stream or did you? Is it easy for you to stream it?
We don't have your chat. I can't stream it because I'm recording it. And
Okay, alright, I'll stream.
if you want to like link it into somewhere,
Link it. Alright.
and then like Adam will stream it or something, just link your channel. Yeah, Luke used to make some videos here or there. Like they were kind of just
They're not.
random.
Okay,
Like if
did you
if he
guys-
was bored one
Did
day,
you guys?
I think.
Did you guys ever own a like? Do you know Share Factory on PlayStation?
Yeah.
I made all of this through Share Factory,
Nice.
and they're all absolute garbage videos, but I think they're sick because I made them.
So which ones? I've watched all of them. Which
Oh man, actually, can we not do this? I'm
Which one has?
thinking about it? I'm like thinking about it.
Hang
I'm
on,
like, oh,
hang on.
fuck, man.
Sensational, sensational. I make videos of me and my homies for me and my homies, but you can watch them too if you want.
I can't even read that, man. This man's on some.
Oh
Wow.
yeah, shit. My
Type beat.
thing's fucked. Okay, so which one will I watch?
2.6k views.
Watch Demon.
Demon?
Well, yeah.
Turn it up.
I do, Lord. Destroy the child.
Oh,
Corrupt them all.
I don't even know what.
This is their plan, people. These are demons. Just like the Bible says, it's basically an intergalactic invasion into this space through people. I'm telling you, it's what all the ancients said, it's what they warned of, it's what we're dealing with.
Just like the Bible says.
They're demons. Freaking interdimensional invaders.
Interdimensional.
Oh, no.
What's happening?
What's wrong?
It's broken.
Or is that meant to be the video?
No, that's definitely not meant to be the video.
Here.
Yeah, you do it.
That's the technical difficulties music. Oh yeah. I'm thinking of somebody else's technical difficult music.
Don't look at David Dobrik. Alright.
Do, Lord. Destroy
Skip
the
on a little
child.
bit.
Where were we?
Corrupt. It said,
We're
it's what
near
they
the
warned
end.
of, it's what we're dealing with.
Full screen it too.
Interdimensional invaders, okay? I'll just say it, make fun of me all you want on CNN or wherever, but everyone already innately knows this. These people are not freaking humans, okay? Hillary Clinton is a goddamn demon.
Oh my god.
Is that so loud? I bet it was.
It was so
Yeah.
loud.
Yeah.
Do you still have the Battlefield video?
Yes.
Oh, Is it paused for you guys?
Yeah, it stopped for me.
frozen. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Look at the.
Fuck was that?
What is that? A transition? What? I hope he does.
My man snuck up on him.
Why is it so intense?
Is this all even in the same line?
No!
It's all the same lobby.
He died in that
Oh,
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in the light, like the ones in the kill streak. What the hell?
Don't even know what happened.
It just.
But this happened in the same. This is like this is like happened after one after another. That's this guy gets fucking control.
Oh shit, man. Oh,
Nice.
Explosive.
that's been good reaction.
Dude,
Shit.
where did you get the music from?
It was the royalty-free music on Share Factory.
Oh
Share
my God.
Nice. The Share Factory logo. Love it.
What's this? 2017? 2016?
Oh, big Destiny player.
It's Destiny 1.
Remember you showed this to Connor in school?
Nice.
Oh my God's sake. John, I can be crying.
What's the
What
one
is
with
this?
the with 2 point? How many views? 3.6k.
3.6.
Skin tone chicken.
Leave me alone.
Goopy Gary's ghastly adventure. So this is the aforementioned Gary. Ark Survival Evolved. Do you want to narrate what's happening here?
Guy was AFK, right? He's getting some tea or something.
Gee.
I took advantage of him, and punched him to unconsciousness, and then dragged him out to the ocean. Like you do.
Yeah, so
Obviously.
it kind of sounds sadistic there. Not gonna lie.
Honestly, it ain't. This I don't know how this got this many views. What?
Oh fuck.
What do you mean?
Why am I in the water?
Into the water.
What do you mean?
Fucking cunt.
What do you mean?
What is your problem? I'm drowning. By the way, just to let you know.
Subtitles are like 0.2
Sharktopus.
second behind, and it really annoys
You
me.
left me here. You're an absolute cunt. I hate
And the
you.
shark.
I'm gonna die.
Sharktopus.
Are you gonna breathe?
Alright,
Sick music.
Yeah, that's enough.
that's probably enough. So yeah, Luke's a professional.
I'm gonna subscribe right now.
That's such a funny video.
Oh, my thing's broken. No! Hold on.
Oh, nice man. You liked our first podcast.
Thanks. Only
Hold
the
up,
first
just a darn tootin'.
one.
Now it's recording the wrong thing.
That's a good one.
What am I gonna do here? I'm confused.
Videos I got on my shit. This always happens.
I broke the screen. I don't know how to get it back on.
Oh, nice.
Bruh.
What's
That's a
stuck on?
bruh. It's stuck on the actual Discord.
Just click on.
Oh.
Hold on.
Man, I wish Peter was here.
Me too. Oh! That's not what I want at all!
Oh no.
Alright, maybe that'll do. I'll have to like crop it. This is the welcome to the scuffedest podcast in the world. Man, this is, you know what? We made it like an hour and 20 minutes without anything bad happening, so I'm kind of
Pretty
okay
good.
with it.
Pretty good going.
So yeah, watching that has kind of
Really?
made me. I think we mentioned it in the podcast before, but it's kind of made me want to do like viral boys play games series.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun.
What?
We each pick a game like the movies.
Yeah, well, like we record ourselves playing like multiplayer games. Like we'll play, I don't know, like Warzone or
Fortnite.
No.
yeah.
Minecraft Dungeons.
We played that. It was fun. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I bet you did, you fucking losers, man. Absolutely.
All right, you're not allowed on the podcast anymore. This is Luke's
Joe
last
Mama.
appearance on the podcast.
Joe Mama. Hey, I'm okay with that. I'm gonna come back at episode 100 though. Hey. Watch out.
Episode 100.
Episode 100.
Um.
Episode 1000.
Luke comes back. And we just go back through your liked videos.
Man, this shit's been fucking popping ever since, man.
Do you know, I was watching the H3 podcast. It's like one of my favorite podcasts. And he was talking about, well, this wasn't really the subject, but it came up. He was watching a video about the podcast and how it makes like upwards of 20,000 per episode, dollars that is. And he was like, yeah, well, he was like, yeah, well, the fact that it's lucrative doesn't mean that, or like, isn't the sole reason that I do it. So, but what I took from that was he makes 20,000 per episode
Yeah.
or upwards thereof. And I was like, man, could you imagine we just sit down and record an episode of our podcast and we make
For an hour and a half work,
$20,000?
like not even work.
Yeah, and I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I love the podcast and I love H3H3. I think they're so entertaining. But goddamn, that is a lot of money. Like, when do we get to that stage?
Probably when
I didn't
become
even make
interesting.
20 grand last year, like.
Yeah, and he's
I
doing
made
2
40.
episodes a week.
Jeez.
I couldn't be at that now.
Man,
Where the fuck is
we'll
so
get
much
there.
shit to talk about?
I could like just thinking about it. Like if I did it serious, I could probably get like 100K, like over time. You
Which,
just need just YouTube, just making videos like stupid videos like that. 'Cause, like,
yeah, but I mean,
like,
that kind of content is hard to keep up.
I suppose, yeah.
Like, funny shit
Need
doesn't happen
funny things to
daily.
happen, yeah.
And if it's scripted, it's not as funny.
Man, if that man, Big Jam, Big Jam, can get fucking almost 100K subscribers from just doing fucking boring, dead ass Skyrim fucking content, then I can get 100K doing the same shit.
I don't doubt it.
He's also streaming right now, and I gave him €2.
For fuck's sake.
Nice.
Every time I see him streaming, I pop in and give him a €2, and he's like, "Oh man, I'm so thankful for you."
Who is this?
Man.
One of our friends' older brothers has a YouTube channel that has,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think he has like 70K subscribers.
Yeah, something like that.
It's pretty good. You know, he's getting there. And the thing is, his content is mostly Skyrim content and like just the Elder Scrolls and kind of Bethesda games in general. Yeah,
Jesus.
but
That's
the
such
thing is,
a-
like, he's got the foundation built for when the Elder Scrolls 6 comes out,
Oh
you
yeah.
know,
yeah.
and then
Oh,
shit's
well.
gonna blow up. So, and I think he knows
right
it too.
now, like that's like such a shitty thing. It's so annoying when you, cause like you build your platform on like a certain game, and then that game like just doesn't become fun anymore, and then
Yeah.
you just wanna then every time you play it, it's like it's just not fun.
It's just a chore. It becomes an actual
Yeah.
job, like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's when it gets fucking gay.
Yeah, that's why you gotta do something that you enjoy doing, like
Minecraft.
content that you enjoy making. Yeah, like Minecraft content. Bro,
Man,
it's
I want-
them people who are Minecraft creators and still are and have been for like 10 years, that is dedication right there.
And not pedos, man. Props to you, man. Props to you.
Props to you.
Shout out to all our not pedos out there.
Who's still going?
Who's a
though?
pedo?
I can't even. That one guy, the
Ali,
watermelon.
Ali,
Yeah, man.
yeah.
Is he a pedo?
No,
For the betting man.
Probably.
he's got a kid.
How about he can get on our
He's not a
podcast and
kid.
defend himself? If that man has a kid, I give up on
I
life.
think he does. Are you
Doesn't
sure?
he?
No way.
I'm pretty sure he's still
Ali
kind of
A.
relevant though.
He
like,
has
on
two
YouTube.
fucking. Yeah, he pops.
Kid.
Oh, he gets 20 mil views a video.
Oh my god.
He's doing fucking insane.
What?
He is.
Maybe not 20 mil. I think I mean 2 mil. Either
He
way,
got- He's getting
Ali,
like over 1 million
uh,
views. You know, he's uploading his Fortnite.
Man,
I don't
when
watch
I
that
when
now.
I
16
Google search
million subs. Oh,
Jesus.
shut the fuck up.
When I
Everybody
Google
knows.
search Ali A, the first thing that comes up is his supported creator code.
Man, he gets 1.2
Good man.
mil every video. And it's all like daily uploads.
That's nuts. Who is he? Ninja?
Bigger than Ninja now.
Do people still play Fortnite?
Yeah.
According to Ali, they do.
Travis Scott does.
That concert was unreal.
Concert wasn't
Oh,
I actually really, I mean, I wasn't there for it, obviously. I don't play Fortnite. I used to play it a little bit, but I don't play it
Did you
anymore.
ever
But
did you ever talk about
on
Andrew
YouTube
Hales
it was
in this
awesome.
podcast? Or that guy, short
Oh man, Andrew Hale's content is unreal. He just cries on camera, and it's brilliant.
But it's so all
And
he
he's
does
so
now is just,
existential, like.
yeah. All he does now is just upload like every couple of months about like how his life is going and shit.
Yeah, he
And
uses
it's
it
so
as like
funny.
therapy.
It's so good. Like I feel like I know him like personally, because I've been watching him since like 2015. He used to do prank videos. We used to go around like these colleges and do prank videos, like awkward prank videos, and he'd be like really awkward around these people. And that was it. But now he does like a chatting with
Yeah, he has a
fucking what?
chatting with series where he like gets people. He got like, like
9/11
people would,
conspiracy
yeah,
theorists.
and like
Oh yes. Just
people with
interesting.
multiple personality
Yeah.
disorder, things like that. It's really interesting, and he doesn't hold back.
And he's such like, yeah, he has like no filter, man. It's so
he's
funny.
like, so are you fucking stupid?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's that direct. I haven't watched one in a long time, but he's really direct and
He's so awkward about it.
hmm.
Like there's a guy and he's like a PTSD survivor, or not survivor, but like he has PTSD. And he's like, well, how was the war, man? What'd
oh,
you
for
do over
God's
there, man?
sake.
And I was like, oh man, what the fuck?
Yeah, and he had a COVID-19 survivor, and I didn't watch that one. I just saw it was one of the more recent ones. And he has a cute dog called Bonnie. I think he has another dog now, but
Here, I'll link his channel.
last time I checked, he had a cute dog called Bonnie, and he used to go.
Yeah.
He used to do. Yeah, he used to do this thing where he was like. Do you remember he'd like get out of the elevator and he'd go or something like that, and the dog would go fucking running. He'd be like, and the dog would start sprinting away. It was great. It was like a therapy dog, I think.
No, yeah, I've never seen him before.
Chatting with an exorcist.
First video is just fart noises. 66,000 views.
Yeah, and he's got loads of videos just called like crying and sad and things
Help.
like that. Yeah.
Oh, let me find it. Let me find it.
The one where he's crying like
Yeah,
so
yeah.
much.
Alright, hold on. Look at my shit. Alright, hold on. We watch this together, guys.
Our podcast is being taken over.
How long have we
Kinda
been
good
going
though,
for?
because we don't really have anything to talk about.
Yeah, we gotta be more prepared than this.
5. No sense. It's 5 a.m., 5 p.m. I don't know.
5 tiers.
I thought I was about to start counting down.
Jesus. He's a diffuser bomb.
The dead pixel, like right in the middle of the screen. You see it?
Yeah.
I think that's
No, wait, no, we can't. That's your screen,
just
fucking
That's your
dumbass.
screen, you fucking idiot.
Oh no, wait, it's there. I see
Oh
it.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
On,
right,
on
okay,
his
okay.
mustache, near his nostril.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Cheek.
When he moves.
So what's he crying about?
I have no idea.
Obviously,
5.
I wish I was stronger.
Why would your first instinct be pick up a camera and then
No.
put it on
I
the
think
internet?
it is
This
his
is
mode
what
of
he does,
therapy.
man. This is what he does, man. Like,
It's how he gets it out, yeah.
Well,
That's
every
the
time
thing.
I've cried, I didn't want to vlog it, like.
Well, you should. You probably make money off it.
Crying for you, pussy.
Whoa.
anyways.
Okay.
You are what you eat.
God, man, I am blasted right now, man.
Have you been
I
drinking
haven't
this whole
been-
time?
I haven't been this drunk in so long. And I've only had 4 cans.
Nice. I'm glad you took the podcast seriously.
Oh yeah, cause we do.
Yeah, true.
I'm more fun, man.
I think
And
that's
what?
pretty good.
He wanted to make a good impression.
Yeah, listen, the these episodes are hit and miss. We had some technical difficulties. We had
Peter.
no Peter. Yeah, that was kind of
Peter is
weird.
a big hit.
Peter Peter's it takes him to like not be here to realize how much he actually talks. In a good way, not in a bad way. Like he takes over the conversation in like it's kind of hard to fill the empty space.
He's like Ben in a way.
Yeah, man, all our
Man,
audience is gonna know what that means.
Oh yeah, oh sorry. I hate Ben with with a passion, but man, that guy can keep a party going. You know what I mean?
Ben is
Yeah.
another one of John and Luke's friends.
Yeah, Ben and Luke lived together in the same room for a year of college,
Hmm.
and they ended up hating each other because Luke snores in his sleep and Ben screams in his sleep.
What would you rather live with? Like honestly,
Recipe for disaster.
would you rather live like sleep like honestly, man? I'd
Have
rather
you
sleep.
have you any stories of Ben asleep?
Fucking loads, man. Man, I every time I try to record that shit though, look, it's like he knows. I'm like, oh, I go as quick as I can, and he'll be like, oh, blah blah, Tesco Mobile Center, blah blah, running, walking, Wi-Fi adapter, and then he'll just say random words, and I'll be like, I'll be trying to get my phone up like Snapchat, like go, because he records me snoring all the time. I'm like, I just want to get him back one time, and then yeah, and then he then he just goes silent for like the next 6 hours.
And
That's
what
pretty
does
funny.
he ever like sit up and look awake?
I don't, man. It's pitch black in the room, man. I'm not gonna.
All right, fair enough.
What do you
Fair
want from me, man?
Full 4K ultra.
I remember
Next
my,
time, night vision
I'd have like,
goggles.
I'd have like three, like, man. I'm such a heavy sleeper, man. I'd have like 3 minute intervals on my alarms. Like, I'd have like 10 alarms with 3 minute intervals, going off, one after each other, and Ben would have like three. And man, we just started on having one alarm, and it was you know the song goes. Ooh ah, my life be like ooh ah. we'd have we'd have that song as our main alarm, and whenever that off, we just get up, and
What the fuck?
that was it. Yeah, I don't know. It was so weird, man. It was so funny.
Yeah, man. We've got. If I actually sat down and thought about all of the stories that we had, we'd probably make a full episode out of it. I remember
Man,
being in your bed one time.
oh, oh.
At the end of it.
Pretty hot at the
No,
arcade.
whenever we'd go out, I'd have to because Luke lives in the nearest town where like the club is, and I live like a good bit away. I wouldn't be able to walk home. Well, I probably would, but it'd take me all night, and I'd probably die. But so whenever I'm going out, it's normally Luke's house that I'd stay in, and he has, like I probably could sleep on the couch, or if there is a spare bed, I
Yeah,
probably would take
there's
it.
no way you couldn't sleep on my couch, but everyone's upstairs in my room, so you're like, ah, what are you
Yeah,
doing
but
there,
we just all get into Luke's bed. Like I'm pretty sure four of us have slept in Luke's bed at
man? I
one
have the
time before.
biggest bed in Ireland.
That's not true, but it is quite big. And I think I was in the middle, and Ben was to my right, and you were to my left, and you were fucking conking it, and you were snoring your head off, right? And then Ben was like, "See, do you see that? Do you see? That's what I had to live with, man. Do you see what he's? I'm telling you, man. He's always at that." And then your cat came over and lay down on your chest, like you were lying on your back, and she lay down on your chest, and you stopped
Yeah,
snoring immediately.
Jesus
And
Christ.
we were like, "What the fuck?" It's like the cat absorbed the snores. And then Luke just goes, he's lying down. It'd be so much better if I could actually show you, but he's lying down on his back with like his arms kind of out of the covers, I guess. And in like so fast, he grabs the cat both sides and lifts it way up and goes, "Aye." And we were like, this guy, bro, he's the deep, like me and Ben are having a full blown conversation beside him and he doesn't wake up. And the cat wakes him up and he's like throwing it around the place like Simba off Pride Rock,
Alinity?
like yeah, like a oh man, and I'm pretty sure Luke's house has like 6 or 7 pairs of my socks stored around the place because I'd take off my socks going to bed and I'd wake up and one would be gone because fucking his dog would have taken it. And one time we went looking for it and found it in your sister's room. Do you remember that? Or your sister found it?
Oh, you're gonna catch a case.
Oh man, good
She's like
times.
20 something.
Yeah, she's older.
I mean, her mind is like 12. But yeah.
Wait a minute.
Are you oh no.
No, go on. What were
Okay.
you gonna say?
I think he's gonna talk about Sean's thing. Are we doing Sean's joke?
Oh, right. Okay.
Guys, Amy's after putting in the thing, I think. Oh, Amy's gone. I'll be late, by the way.
Oh, that's fine then.
What's Sean's thing?
Sean does like a
FaceTime quiz.
yeah.
Quiz
Sean,
on
who
Friday night.
our intro bot is named after. He does
Scanlan?
like a game. Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck? He does like
Man, next time you see him, tell him I said it. Tell him tell him I called him an NPC, man.
Why? What did he do to you?
He is
I don't
doing
know,
it.
man. Fucking hosted FaceTime quizzes, man. What are you on, man? Alright, I'm gonna get some beers. Be right back.
well, okay. I was gonna say we'll probably end it, but
Yeah.
But
Going for
alright.
ages.
Alright, I'm coming back. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say we'll probably end it there.
Already?
And yeah,
What?
I mean, he's got. What do you mean?
Joe
Why?
Rogan shit for fucking
Let's keep
4
this going,
hours.
bro. I want
So
I
I'm
want
happy to keep it going. We can do it a 2-parter, man, if it's too long.
the 3-hour mark, man. Let's go.
Fuck
Wait,
that.
wait. Nah, Carl, you're staying there, man. You little bitch, man.
What?
Alright, hold on. The Viral Podcast. We're going on YouTube. Let's see what the longest video is.
It's like an
142
hour
hours.
59 or something.
Yeah.
Alright, we gotta get to 2 hours, man. Come on, guys.
Alright, you wanna be the
What are
longest
we
one?
on?
We're on an hour 36.
Alright, I'm gonna go take a piss. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Do not end this, or I'll be very upset.
Man, I'm just gonna end it.
I mean, you can
Carl.
leave. I'll probably stay.
Carl, do you know what I'll do to you, Carl?
What are
I'm
you
gonna
doing to me?
fucking bust into your fucking house, man. I'm gonna bust into your
Pot
room.
noodles,
Take
bro.
the door off the fucking hinges.
Shit.
I'm gonna get you to the ground on your fucking stomach. I'm gonna stand on your back and pull your arms up as hard as I fucking can, man. I'm gonna
Why'd
rip
you
your
do that?
arms off your fucking torso, man. If you
Why'd
leave
you
this
do
fucking
that
podcast.
today?
What do we
Just
title this
right on
episode?
Anyways,
God, dude.
I'll be right back.
Noodles.
I'm gonna get some beers.
Luke threatens every member at some stage.
No wonder Peter left.
We get Peter back on for the second part.
Oh,
We can, yeah, I don't know. Do we have him back? It's like the violent guest that you didn't think would turn out as bad as it did.
Yeah.
I know, it's actually kind of funny though.
Well,
Oh. Ooh, so are you guys enjoying this episode?
well, it's class. I feel like it started off really bad, but got better as it went on.
Yeah,
Although every single one of our things do that as well, so.
yeah, probably. So, what do you think we'd play for a Viral Boys play?
some
Jump into
like
a game
really
of...
frustrating game.
Yeah, we could do that. Or like, I was thinking
So
our
like
first
a-
one should be something that's pretty popular, like Warzone or something like that.
You'll get some great content of me playing Warzone. I will be that shit out of it.
Yeah, could you
Although
imagine?
me and Adam only have the one PlayStation.
I can play it on PC.
Yeah,
That could work.
we could probably make it work for an episode.
Yeah.
So yeah, we might try Warzone. Get Adam or get Carol on Dauntless.
Oh yeah.
We've been playing a lot of
I have no
Dauntless.
idea what
It's getting to the stage now where we're just talking like it's not a podcast.
But they're the best podcast, man.
True. Man, I'm fucking tired. I'm tired as balls. I was on the bog this morning. Like this
fucking lit.
like this episode of the podcast if you know what a bog is, and like it if you don't. What are you drinking?
I liked Carlsberg.
scum.
Oh, scum. Man, I'm gonna get sick later. I don't give a fuck. I'm on number.
We've been wanting to do a drunk podcast.
5.
Yeah, we should have.
Man, does everyone here have a webcam? No, fucking
Insinuate,
trying to
insinuate
get out.
what?
Do you know how sick that would be if everyone on a webcam? You're just like, fucking drunk as shit. They're so fucking good.
We should eventually get webcams.
Mm.
Get like 20 people in here. What the
Bro.
fuck? Let's have a fucking FaceTime quiz.
Bro, why are you so mean to everyone?
Yeah, what the fuck's happening with a FaceTime quiz?
I don't know. It sounds so fucking good. I'm so drunk, man. I'm sorry.
That's okay, man.
That guy Sean, though, you know, big moves happen. In the
Did
squad.
oh, there's no one even in it, or is there? Oh, I
Because-
think it's one of them things that you can't see that they're in it.
No, probably.
I don't know if it's actually going in or not.
What are you guys excited for to open back up? Or to do?
Barbers.
Man, and you think Sean's an NPC, bro? Get this fucking guy. I'll come cut your hair.
Fucking, I don't want to be a skinhead.
What's
Then
wrong
I
with being a
will be
skinhead?
Fucking in neo-Nazi.
And you're not posting on your fucking Instagram?
Man, this
Yeah,
guy's
and you're not
racist.
posting on your Instagram. Yeah,
Total white
Jesus, John.
supremacist.
Wow.
Fucking hell. Blonde hair, blue eyes.
Oh my god.
Hey man, don't give
The
them a
whole
description
package,
of me.
man. You've the whole package.
Do you guys watch Rick and Morty? I know it's
No.
Rick and Morty, but like, do you watch the new season?
Yeah, I haven't watched the new season though.
Alright,
What have you watched it? There's no way you've watched the new season.
Yeah.
Have you actually?
I've watched like 3 new episodes. I missed a couple now because I haven't been keeping up with it, but I watched the first 3.
Of season 4.
Not like after I came back, like
Oh,
recently.
alright, okay, yeah, I
newest
get you.
ones,
Yeah.
I watched like 3 episodes, yeah.
I like Rick and Morty. It's pretty good.
Yeah, same.
Uh,
Just a single
I like
second
the
Rick and
I like the perfect level. That's like
Oh yeah.
the best scene in Rick and Morty. Perfect level.
Has anybody watched the UFC? Is
UFC.
anyone excited for 250?
Oh man, I'm gonna get so drunk. Man, last time when it was just Gaethje and Tony Ferguson, man,
Yeah.
we all fucking like there's like 6 of us in a Discord call, and we had webcams on, you know what I mean? And we had and call and big
We
man
all had our
Colin
trousers
was
round our
streaming the UFC fight. I didn't buy that shit. You already know me, I'm a cheapskate. Anyways, he bought that shit, and like we chipped in. Like some of them did. I didn't chip in. 'Cause, you know,
Some of them did.
Anyways, we're watching it, and that shit was crazy. I got so drunk as well.
Yeah, it was a really good. That whole card was just super.
The fucking Francis Ngannou fight. Oh my
Oh
god.
fuck me, Jesus
Man, I
Christ.
went to the bathroom
Scary.
and got sick and came back, and that came on, and oh my god,
I went to the bathroom. Like,
came back, man, and I was like, oh what the fuck?
Yeah, that show's fucked.
I thought I was watching a replay, man, but it was the real thing.
This one isn't that big. Well, like it doesn't have super big names. It's Nunes and Spencer for the women's
Nunes, yeah.
thing. I think Nunes
Sean
wins
O'Malley
that one
not
though.
fighting.
What was the fight before? It wasn't. It was like a couple of UFCs ago, and it was like these 2 women before the main fight, and they absolutely.
KSI
Oh,
versus
yeah,
Logan Paul.
Wei Li.
And her
Wei
head.
Li. Yeah, Wei
Her
Li
head.
and
Yeah, her head went massive.
And Jokovic,
Yeah, big-
Joanna.
Joanna, yeah, Jabojevic.
That was a good one.
That was one of the best fights ever
I've ever seen.
I've ever seen in my life.
I was gonna
This
say
one isn't
something.
that big.
Oh, I can't remember.
I'm convinced Amanda Nunes is a man though. There's no way.
Man, I've been watching them embedded
Everyone's
vlogs,
shoulders are
and
that big.
Jesus Christ,
Bro, my
that-
shoulders aren't that big.
they definitely a parallel balls and there's stuff up in there somewhere.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Wait a
I think
minute.
she wins that one though.
That's illegal.
Oh my god, man, this is gonna sound so fucking strange for you two boys. Probably John. Man, I used to play on the it was like 5 or 6 years ago. I used to play on this Minecraft server, right? You know, you get like Minecraft server, and it's like, oh my god, this is fucking sick. And you got like friends on that server.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Anyways, like 2 weeks ago, this girl that I still talk to from that Minecraft server, she's a fucking cracker. Let me tell you that much.
Jesus.
She tells me it's back up, and I get on, and it's the same. It's like I went into a time capsule from 2015, man. And I was like, what the fuck? And there was like people from that time as well still on,
Oh my
and
god.
like, man,
People
y'all
are
gotta
committed to
go.
the craft.
Y'all gotta go find your old Minecraft server. That's my advice to you.
We
Go
should make
find
a
your old
viral
Minecraft server.
Minecraft server.
Fuck yeah,
Get
man.
all our fans on it.
That shit was crazy though, man. I'm still thinking like, am I in a dream, man? 'Cause, how does that happen? The
Uh,
one specific server that I was on 6 years ago was like, you know what? I'm coming back.
Do you know the way people have names for their fans? Like
Oh
the
yeah,
like the
yeah.
bros and the 9-year-old
Babies.
9-year-olds, the
9-year-old armies.
19-year-olds. I just named 3 of PewDiePie's. I don't actually know anybody else's. Uh, does other people have it? Is that a thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I can't think of any others. What would we call our fans?
The viruses.
The infected.
Actually, that makes sense though.
The infected. The Walking Dead. The Jamokes.
The Jamokes.
Hope.
Leave it in the comments below. What do you want to be called?
Yeah.
If anyone's made it this far, which I doubt.
Nah, an hour and 46. I'm getting tired.
We're just counting down until 2 hours.
Yeah, I'm getting tired as well.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. I've never been tired in my life.
Replay when he says, "I'm getting tired." Editor.
So what movie you playing next week?
Wait a
You're
minute.
playing,
I'm the
what
editor.
The
Dark
Dark
Knight?
Knight.
Dark Knight, yeah.
Man, that's gonna be so fucking fun. Oh my god. I can't wait to watch that episode next week. Let me tell you. Can I just get in it? Can I just be Peter now? Like, can I just be Peter? I basically replaced Peter.
This guy, man, shut the fuck up, okay?
Let me worm
You come
my
on
way
here,
into
you're
it.
like,
Just wait
you're
till
like,
Victory
man,
Boots.
man, I can't wait to watch that episode. Being all sarcastic and shit, and then you're like, seriously, no, get me on for real. Like, I want to be a member. Like, shut your stupid ass up, bro.
Alright. Can I be your number one fan though?
You can, obviously,
No,
yeah.
that's the other woman.
No, yeah, whoever commented on
The
the
woman in
first
our
one.
comments. Sorry.
Oh yeah, you could be our number 2 fan.
You
I
can
tell
be
you
our
what,
number one male fan.
true. When you get a, wait a minute. Oh no, she told us. She told us it was a female. Never mind.
Yeah.
I was about to be like, did you get in contact? Um, being our number 1 male fan means that you have to hit that join button as soon as we get it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Give us money.
Yeah.
You know what?
Start a Patreon.
Gonna make my own podcast.
It's not the conclusion I thought you were gonna come to.
I'm
Once
gonna get Peter on it.
as a
You know
guest,
what?
or
No, as a co-host.
that'd be great. I'd watch.
Yeah.
What's it gonna be about?
All right. You know, like, you ever seen
Haven't
banana
thought that far
bread?
ahead.
Banana bread, right?
A
Alright.
baking podcast.
Fuck yeah, man. Man, oh, banana
Bacon
bread actually
podcast
hit.
while baked.
John's mommy is the OG for banana bread. I'd marry John's mom just to get an unlimited supply of banana bread for the rest of my life.
What the fuck is going on?
What do
We're
you
never
mean,
having
man?
guests on again. This is the worst idea ever.
Shut up.
I'm glad I've ruined it for you guys. That's so
Well, now that we've hit rock bottom, the only way is up.
It's funny, man. I didn't even ask Luke to come on this. He asked me.
yeah. I was like, I want to get on this thing.
Like you were drinking in advance of this. You were drinking. in preparation for the podcast. Like I sat down and watched an hour and a half of Sharktopus, and you cracked open a few cold ones.
Yeah, man, I watched the review.
What did the review say?
Said it was kind of like The Room with that guy. It's like there's a whole niche of like movies that they
Yeah,
they
yeah.
think they think they're good, but they're not good, and that they're so bad that they're good. Yeah.
True that. I
Wow,
was listening.
I'm
Also, that
happy for you.
Sharktopus was codename S13 or something like that. I
S11.
don't know. S11, man. Close.
Yeah, but why though?
Because he was a government experiment from the Navy SEALs, and they were
Experience, a government
his whole.
He's
experience.
watching the video again.
What did I say? Experience.
No, he wants it for 2 hours, so he's like watching Sharktopus throughout the whole thing of this, and then wants to review it at the end. He just hasn't finished watching
Anyways,
it yet.
thanks guys for watching this episode
Yeah,
of the podcast.
you wrap it up there, Luke.
This has
Do
been
you
a
have
real
anything
one.
to promote?
Oh yeah, any big stuff coming up for you? Any shows?
This camera, this camera, this camera.
Watch Barry on HBO. It's a very good TV show.
Is it HBO? Is that what it's on?
Yes.
I thought it was on Amazon Prime.
Typing away.
Oh fuck, it was.
Yeah, it's a
Watch
fucking guy,
Barry
bro.
on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, it's with
Bill Hader.
Bill Hader.
Good
It's a
TV
good show. Mm.
Alright, well I'm sure they're thrilled.
Wait, what time are we on right now?
An hour 51.
Why would you say
Alright,
that?
For
10
Why
fuck's
would
more
you
sake.
say
minutes.
that? Why would you say that?
10
You
I'm
finished it
more
in
I'm
2
minutes.
hours.
done.
10
I am
more
done.
minutes.
Why did you say
20
I'm
more
fucking
minutes.
done?
20
20.
more
2 more
minutes.
hours.
20.
What do you mean
Oh,
20? It's
fuck
9 more minutes.
9 minutes, you fucking idiot.
30 more minutes.
Shut the Man, you're such
Fuck
a.
that.
This is worse than talking to you not in a podcast setting. This is worse than talking to you just normally.
Oh fuck.
This episode's being
But
titled "The Most Scuffed Episode of the Most Scuffed Podcast Ever."
That's
No.
fair. Yes.
I'm out of this bitch because I just want to piss off and not do 2 hours just because.
Alright. Wrap it up, John.
You don't tell me what to do, man. Shut the fuck up.
Take a 9-minute stop.
Imagine here, we should just
I'll
cut
put
out
in-
the, like last half hour.
I'll put in a 9-minute ending screen. It can be the
Alright.
longest episode. Luke, what's your favorite movie?
Sharktopus.
Alright then.
Alright then.
He's gone. He's passed out.
Super bad.
Super
Man, that was
bad.
such a generic episode. Or
Fuck you,
episode.
man.
Answer. That was such a generic
No,
fucking answer. This
no.
guy.
Oh, do you know what my favorite movie was? Oh, it was Justice League because that is the best movie. Oh, sorry. I mean, sorry. It was How to Train Your Dragon. You fucking little child, man. Get the fuck out of here.
You can what the fuck is
Alright.
going on?
My favorite movie was
Was listen
Sharktopus
anymore.
that I just finished watching.
The
Incredibles.
The Incredible Story
Alright.
of
Benjamin
Alright, that's enough of that.
Yeah, fuck this.
Alright guys, we apologize. we moved the
Hey,
Just watch.
start my
The
own
fucking thing. Right,
podcast.
I'm going.
It's gonna be
Goodbye.
The Unviral
Hopefully people
Podcast.
stopped at the at the pot noodle story.
Dude, the pot noodle story was pretty good, man. You could start your own podcast with that shit.
Hell yeah.
Pot noodle bandit.
Alright, leave a like and subscribe for more amazing content.
See you next week.
We love you.
Bye!
Bye.